Yo, 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 welcome to something a little bit different. Another reaction video, but to a review. One of the people that I watch for all of like my, kind of like tech stuff, I've been getting really, as a lot of you know, I do music. I've been getting into music production, trying to like learn it myself, and I'm trying to get the best setups to play music on strings. I play the guitar and I sing live and stuff like that. And one of the guys that I watch to get like reviews of upcoming products and stuff is a guy called Senpai Gaming. He does a lot of tech stuff, a lot of tech reviews, and a brand new mix has just come to the market called the Rodecaster 2. And I'm going to be watching his review, kind of seeing the gist of what it's like. And from what I've seen of it so far, it looks like it could be very good. Because at the moment, I'm using the Go XLR, which is kind of like the main mixer a lot of YouTubers and streamers use. It's like a good interface. So basically, you plug your mic, you can have all of your sounds routed through it. Your music, your chat, your game sound, everything kind of routed through one mixer. And obviously, you plug your headset into the mixer. And yeah, there's a few features I'd like added to the Go XLR that maybe this mixer has that the Go XLR doesn't. So we'll see. And because I mean, I have to run two mixers to get this to work. Because obviously, the Go XLR only has one input. If not, I'd only have to use the Go XLR. But the Go XLR only has one input, and I need two inputs. One for my mic, which you see here, and then a second input for my guitar when I play like on stream or record music or whatever. So this is a little bit different. Not something I normally react to. So hopefully you guys will play along, and this will help teach all of us. Like, if you guys are looking into getting a new microphone, if you're trying to look into, if you're trying to get into the streaming stuff, become a YouTuber, like this is the sort of stuff you'll want to eventually end up getting to make the stuff look amazing and sound amazing and just be professional, basically. Even if you don't get it, like, it's cool to see how it works, So this is the Rodecaster Pro 2
on this device, on the Rodecaster Pro 2. Because if I could sum this whole video up into one sentence, it would be, this thing should have been more expensive.
Well, that's a good sign. No.
Hey, so I know this video is about audio, but lighting is one of the most important elements to making a video look good. So let me tell you about today's sponsor, PC. So go check out the Elgato key light at the link in the description below. All right, first, disclaimer. Rode sent me this device to take a look at, and if I wanted to make a video on. They didn't pay me. They don't get to approve the video. They don't get to see this video or anything before it goes live. This is not a sponsored video. It's important to me that I tell you both of those things.
That's good. That means it's going to be truthful at least.
You good? This device sells for $699. And when I say that I think this could be sold for double the cost, maybe even $1,500, I still think that would be a fair price for what's in here. They've added, I mean, this thing is just full of so many features and so much functionality. And I don't mean like gimmicky, fun features to spice up your podcast. I mean like actual useful functionality in here. It's pretty incredible. So I want to do three main things in this video. I want to give you a brief synopsis of what this is and how it works, just so you understand. But it's important that you know this is not like a full tutorial on this. If I tried to do it, that would...
Because the thing for me, if this does everything the Go XLR does, plus what my Allen & Half ZFX or a Z6FX does, I've got two mixers, which makes my desk look clunky. There's so many wires everywhere because I have additional wires. And I would like to clear it up, have one mixer that does everything, and then does the extra things that I'd like it to do. Because the one thing I can't do, when I'm playing the guitar, especially if we're playing like rappy songs that often have autotune in the actual songs. If I'm doing it live, I can't add the autotune feature which the Go XLR has. The Go XLR does have like an autotune feature built into the program, right? Because you guys know I often use reverb, or I might use a little bit of echo, just to add just a little bit of, it's a little bit of something extra to the song. It's not like, but I'd like a little, certain songs would work with a little tinge of autotune just to make it, more authentic to the actual recordings. But I can't do that live because my guitar gets affected because I have to plug my Allen & Half mixer basically into the Go XLR. So then the microphone and the guitar input is routed through that one connection. So if I auto-tune my voice, it will auto-tune my guitar at the same time, and I don't want that. I only want to affect my voice, if that makes sense. So I need extra XLR inputs so I can route my microphone into and then have the effects just affect that one thing, and then a guitar separate input, you know what I mean? That's kind of the thing I'm looking for.
Take hours. In fact, Tom Buck did try to do that, and it took him 40 minutes. If you want to see a more in-depth tutorial on everything about this, I'll link that video down below. It was great.
Hey, look at that interface. It has a screen.
The basics. Second,
I want to go
into my 3
extra
favorite things that I learned about it. Things that made me tingly in certain areas when I found out about them. Does that sound okay? Whatever. And then 3, just to balance it all out, I want to share with you 3 things that I think could be improved on this device. So let's jump into the basics. The original Rodecaster Pro, the first iteration, was designed for podcasts. With this one, Rode has stated that they want to make it much more versatile, make it for more all-around content creation, so including things like YouTube and live streams, and they've added a handful of features that allow it to do that kind of stuff. It's got 4 microphone inputs with fantastic preamps.
Look at that. So that's what I'm talking about. Because the GoXLR has 1, right? It has 1 input, that is it. 1 mic or 1 instrument or 1 whatever. This one has 4, which would be perfect if you like, say, doing a podcast or if you're a musician that has instruments. That's what I'm saying. I need at least 2 inputs, 1 for my mic, 1 for my guitar, right? But so this would already be a huge upgrade from the GoXLR in that sense, that it has an extra input. I can separate the audio tracks. Like I can kind of do that anyway because I've got a separate mixer to do that. It's just having 2 mixers to do what this one mixer would do. You know what I mean? Like it's a bit untidy. But this is 700 quid, so it's a lot of money as well.
Like you can even run a Shure SM7B without needing any kind of cloud lifter.
Look at that screen though.
This is the Shure SM7B plugged directly in using nothing but the Shure SM7B preset that's already built into this thing. How's it sound?
That sounds clean. Like you see how my mic, if this is the Shure SM7B, the same mic he's using. This is on what I've customly kind of tweaked using the GoXLR and my other mixers effects. It may not be, obviously this is just a preset. All you'd have to do is plug it in, click the Shure SM7 preset on this new mixer, the mixer that he's now using, the Rodecaster 2. The Rodecaster Pro 2. Bro, I talk quick when I'm excited about stuff, and this looks so cool. And it has a preset for this mic that will give you the right amount of gain, it will give it the right amount of EQ, everything that you'd need for it to sound like decent. Just off the bat. And then obviously you can tweak it even more if you really, really wanted to. Like, that is crazy.
Good? Does this prove my point? All right,
yeah.
let's move on. It's got 6 without physical faders that are
I also have
programmable, as well as
I have this thing inside it that boosts the decibel. It's kind of like a cloud lifter, but it's a cheaper version of a cloud lifter. I forget what it's called.
3 more virtual faders. Let me show you what I mean by that. So here in the faders, you can see the physical faders and the virtual faders. Let's say I want my PC game audio to be controlled by the first fader, and then my PC chat audio, like Discord, to be the second fader.
This is exactly what the GoXLR does as well.
Changed to virtual faders over there. But now I control game volume here, chat volume here, and over here is the microphone. If I tap on it.
So this is why these sort of interfaces are so big for streamers. So I could have I've got my GoXLR right in front of me. So I've got my mic volume, I've got my music volume, my chat volume, my desktop audio volume, and that that all adjusts the sounds. This is just for my ears, by the way. Other than the microphone volume, I think that will affect. Yeah, my only thing that affects OBS recording or streaming will be the mic input. But everything else, like the music tab is just for my ears only, the voice chat is just for my ears only, and the desktop audio volume tab is just for my ears only. I have to manually adjust that on OBS itself for what you guys hear. So this is cool. It's cool they've got this feature. So that's what I'm saying. This is a feature that would be a bit of a negative if it didn't have this. But it does. That's really huge already. It has this cool display that has everything. I think it's touch as well. Something GoXLR doesn't have.
On it, I can still control it with this smart knob right here. I don't know if it's called.
I don't know what this is all about though. Here,
everything. So 9 total completely programmable tracks. The screen on it is super high quality, like almost overkill high quality. Like you can read it. It's perfectly clear from any angle, and not to mention it's like super high resolution. Like it's borderline smartphone quality screen.
Jesus.
I don't know if that was necessary, but it's super dope. You have 8 smart pads over here that you can set to do.
Yes. So they're like the sample buttons on the GoXLR.
You can set them to do voice effects like, hey, what's up? on a monster now, if that interests you.
Now, the one thing I do want to say, because I've Googled what effects this thing has, and it has some cool ones. It has most of the ones the Go XLR has. So it has the reverb, it has like pitch correctional, so you can adjust the pitches, so you can make yourself sound like a deep demon, or you can make yourself sound like a high pitched, like one sec, let me hear myself. So you could like go like
this, and you could like sound like a squeaky little bitch, or you could go, I don't know, like
I could go like this. So this mixer would do all of that.
So it would have that like pitch correction and all that jazz, which, you know, is kind of a cool effect. For me, that's not so important. For me, I just like having a little bit of echo and reverb, echo and reverb. So when I'm playing the guitar, it has a little bit of yeah to it, you know? Bit of like, oh yeah. You know? Just so it has a little bit of a flair. Not every song you'd want that, like rap songs, maybe not so much, but there are certain bits that it's nice to have a bit of echo and reverb on it. Of course, you can adjust it how much you want, which is kind of cool. But yeah, that's just something that I like to have. Again, it's not necessarily needed, but for me, for what I do as a musician, that's a big must-have for me. Now, from what I know, the one thing it doesn't have is autotune, which is the Go XLR does have, and it's nice to have. But on my Go XLR, I can't have it on when I'm singing live, because obviously I can't play the guitar and have it on at the same time. But I can do this with autotune when the days are cold and cards are fold and the saints we see are made of gold. I wanna hide the truth, I wanna shelter you, but with the beast inside, there's nowhere we can hide. Obviously, I put an obscene amount of autotune on that just to show how it works, right? Again, you can adjust how much autotune you have on the Go XLR. Like, you've got 3 different versions of it. You've got like a hard like amount of autotune, which is like T-Pain style. You've got like medium, which is like in between. You got like a natural, so basically just a little bit of autotune, which would help with a bit of pitch control and your voice when singing and stuff. Which is what I would like for certain songs that you know, actual artists use autotune in. So it's a bit more authentic when I'm trying to sing and play along on the guitar. But obviously, I can't do that because my guitar and my mic input is all in the same input, so it would auto-tune the guitar, which sounds absolutely disgusting. So, yeah, that's a problem.
At all. Got a bunch of effects, not just that one. And also you can set it to really cool voice tools like ducking, or, you know, if you have a podcast that maybe you don't want your mom to be disappointed in, you can add a bleep. So when you're talking, you can bleep yourself
So I can also do
lots and lots of stuff there. It also comes with a ton of mic presets pre-programmed for you. So you'd expect them to have things like all the Rode microphones pre-programmed. So
it's one thing the Go XLR doesn't have. It doesn't have presets like this.
The NT1, all the Rode microphones, but then you
which
get
is
a
a
little
cool
bit further,
feature.
and they actually programmed presets for their competitors' microphones, at least the popular ones, like the RE20 or the Shure SM7B. Rode didn't have to do that. They just did it for us. Good guy, Rode. Oh yeah, then on top of that, a ton of microphone effects, things like compression, EQ, anything you can think of. I'm not gonna go into it because there are a bajillion of them, but they're all in there. Instead of getting into all of that, let's get into the fun stuff, the stuff that I wanna talk about. And speaking of the good stuff, you know what else is good stuff? That like button down there. I bet if you hit it, feel pretty good. You should try it. Try it just once.
Guys,
while you're down
listen,
there, go ahead and drop a comment in the description. You don't have anything you want to say? Drop your favorite
hit
emoji.
that like button, subscribe. You know, you guys have the drill.
Thanks.
Like, Oh, bro, I really want this mixer, chat. I'm actually so sad. If it had it auto-tune, I would probably have ordered it by now, even though it's so damn expensive. I probably would have sold a kidney or something, but touche, we're carrying on.
Every time. That's going to be which I've never heard of before. I've never heard of a device that has 2 USB ports and can interface with 2 computers at the same time.
PCs. Yeah, that's really cool. Oh, so I can't do that.
2 USB-C
you have to
ports that are designed to connect to two
PCs. You have to do it in a weird way.
Phones, it can be any devices. But I want to show you.
But it doesn't like properly connect to both like this one
number
would.
2 plugged in. Now, computer number 1 has 2 different channels. Software, or I should say virtual devices, meaning it's got a main channel and it's got a chat channel. So that way you can set your Discord to chat and you can set your game and everything else to the main. The second input only has 1, but this allows you, like if you have a multi-PC setup, like let's say a 2 PC stream setup, or maybe a super intense podcast setup, and you have 1 computer on your desk and you have 1 computer that's recording the whole thing, you can plug both of them into the device and this will be the interface for both. So both of these machines have Spotify and OBS running. And if I play music on here, which I'm gonna play Stream Beats because it's the best copyright-free music, I can play it in this video and not get demonetized. Links to Stream Beats down in the description
Stream Beats is pretty sick, by the way.
If I hit play here,
it is pretty sick.
This music is coming, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. This music is coming out into this device, then feeding into my MacBook where it's being captured in OBS, and then just so you can actually hear it and I can demonstrate, it's playing, it's monitoring out of OBS, so you can hear it. I'm playing it from here and it's playing out of my MacBook. And if I want to go crazy, let's switch it up a little bit. Now let's play music on my Mac. And it's playing over on the PC laptop because same thing, it's going out of here through my interface, feeding into OBS on the PC laptop, and then OBS is monitoring it out of the speakers. That is insane for content creators. I'm sure it exists, but I've never heard of an audio interface that can fully interface with 2 computers at the same time. This gets me very excited for content creation and allowing me to do things like music content creation on a Mac that feeds into my PC and just all the things.
That's, I mean, the Go XLR does something similar, but nowhere near to that level. All it does is it allows you to plug it into 1 PC, so it has the audio interfaces to 1 PC, which I use on my streaming PC, and then I have like a 3.5mm cable plugged into my gaming PC, so all it does is use the mic through both PCs in, rather than having to buy 2 mics, you know? So that's how you use the Go XLR 2, but you aren't technically using the full interface on the gaming PC. You're only using it only just routes the mic, what you hear through the mic, through both.
Are now not only possible, but simple with a single device. So I do plan on actually hooking this up in my setup and really testing it out as soon as I'm done.
I wish I could do that.
Awesome thing number 2. Let me clear off this desk. Now that I've made my point. Remember the smart pads that I mentioned, the 8 buttons over here? Well, I didn't mention that there are 8 different banks available. So you can see these arrows at the bottom, and as I hit them, they go between multiple banks over here.
Lord.
And I can actually get, let me show you, I can get up to 8 banks, meaning I can get 64 buttons programmed on this device. And better than that, on
8
top
banks
of
times
vocal
what?
effects
What
and
was it,
things,
times
these
8?
can also be programmed to do MIDI triggers, meaning I can install a MIDI plugin in OBS and I can actually have this device control OBS.
The Go XLR has a similar feature, right? It has button banks, sample banks, if you will. But the effects are separate, so the effects have their own like little area on the Go XLR, where this one doesn't. I think all the effects you have to program it to a button, right? I think that's how that works with this mix of the Rodecaster 2, where the XLR does it a little bit differently. But on the Go XLR though, it has 4 times 3, so you got 4, you got 8, you got 12 buttons. But this one has 8 times 8, so you got a hell of a lot more. So you think, what was it? You got 8 buttons, and then it has 8 different sources. So you got 8 different pages, which you could then use the buttons for either sound effects, sound bites, or like effects like, you know, reverb or echo or whatever. So that's okay. That's kind of cool.
Yes, just like a Stream Deck, a 64-button Stream Deck on this device. I can switch scenes, I can adjust volumes, whatever I want to do. I can also hook this up to any other software that has MIDI controls, like my DAW, for example, my recording software, Logic. I can make almost anything on here, control almost anything in my software. I can use one of these headphone knobs and it can control the pan on one of my tracks. Or if I want to get super nuts, I recently talked about a software called Atom that's a huge tool for streamers that can use MIDI instances or MIDI triggers to do anything on your stream, and I can use this with Atom and do some nutty stuff in OBS. I will link that video at the end of this video so you can really see how to go nuts with this kind of stuff. And big thing number 3 that I'm usually skeptical about, but they've already given me a reason to be optimistic about it, it's future updates. Generally, when it comes to future updates for products that you buy, you shouldn't have super high expectations. Once you've bought it, they've already got your money. They're not super motivated to give you more free features to it, but they've already shown a massive feature that is in the upcoming beta. They've added a routing table, which is massive for content creators, especially live streamers. Hey,
that's
by the way,
huge.
Future Harris
Like,
here. We actually shot this video
if they didn't add that, then that would be like a kind of a no-go for streamer.
They've released that feature.
And I've already released it, so you're set.
Already has the routing table. It's installed on mine in my stream room, and it works phenomenally. Like,
I'm very tempted to buy it.
Thank you, Rob.
I'm very tempted to buy it.
Makes me so happy
If they announced that auto-tune effect was going to be released on it along with the echo and reverb, I probably would have brought it already, or like be very close to buying it. More closer than I already am. I'm very close to buying it already. If they added that, that would be the best mixer alive for me, possibly. Like I can't think of any other feature I'd want. You know what I mean? Like, that would just do everything. Now it's got the routing table. If it added the auto-tune, that'd have everything, the Go XLR and more.
Missing from the current iteration. They've even added a processor that's like.
And the thing about the Go XLR, the devs have abandoned it, or the devs left the company, Helicon. So it's no more software updates. So all of the bugs and issues that are with it always going to be with it. Like there's no updates, there's no fixes for it anymore.
Let's talk about the 3.
That's the biggest problem with the Go XLR. It's been abandoned, right, by the devs that made it left the company. I don't think the company's gone under. Is it TC Helicon? Are they still going? I know the devs that made the Go XLR specifically have left, so that's getting no more updates ever. But I think that the company itself may have gone on. Let me know down below in the comments, because I'm not 100% sure, but I think they may have.
Things that I would like to improve on this. Improvement number 1, I would love to see one more digital input device. This thing already has a main output and a chat output, but most streamers also need to control one more. Usually it's music. I'd love to be able to independently control my music that's coming from my PC and then send it back to my stream. I feel like if we're gonna market this to streamers, that's kind of a necessity. Number 2, and this one I have to say because I've given this criticism to a handful of other devices, and I need to make sure I'm being fair here. I would love to see submixes on this thing. I can't tell you how many times I've needed to make slight adjustments to what I hear versus what my audience hears.
This is true. Have my very big, very
slightly
true.
Lower in my headphones than I have in my audience.
I think Go XLR does well.
Sometimes I have to lower my teammates just a tiny bit in my headphones so I can hear footsteps and stuff in game, while my audience still wants to be able to hear my teammates. It can be something buried in the settings, something as simple as...
Because, like, obviously, as a viewer, you won't need to hear... Like, obviously, you want to hear game sound, right? But you're not going to be able to hear every single footstep, every single crinkle, right? Because you're not the one playing the game. You're just watching, you're experiencing the game, seeing what you think of it. But you want to be able to hear the background music. You want to be able to hear your the people that you're playing, or those who, the people that on the stream is playing with, for example. You might not be able to hear every single detail to the level that the person actually playing the game will need to.
Let my mix be 80% of the audience mix on this channel, and then as you adjust the fader, it adjusts both of those accordingly. It doesn't have to be something that you fix on the fly. Anyway, I feel like it would be a great addition. And the last update that I'd love to see, which I don't even know, I don't know how they do this. They obviously couldn't do it on this device, but I feel like you need to know this before you buy it. This thing is freaking massive. I
yeah,
love
it does look big.
Like maybe in the 3rd iteration of this, I'd love to see like a more condensed version. Like I went from the Go XLR.
I don't have a lot of space on my desk. This is the problem
for you, if that's okay.
But then I got 2 mixes on my desk, so I could fit it on.
How dusty this thing is, I'm banning you from the channel.
That's how it compares to the Go XLR.
This thing hasn't been used in a while.
It is basically
from my desk and replaced
2 XLRs.
With the beacon interface, oh my goodness, the amount of space that they saved. My mouse was hitting the Go XLR, and now I have no problems. I love how much space this saved. But look at how big. Look at how big.
That's
look at
huge.
The difference in
That
size.
is huge.
This
So this is the Go XLR. So you see all these are the FX buttons. This is those sample buttons which basically represent these. So they basically do the same things, and you've got the effects here. Obviously, these doesn't have like a separate effects page, so you'd have to monetize it in there, then add the effects that this does here onto the on these programmable buttons here. And obviously, you've got 8 pages of them, so it'd be quite easy to do. But yeah, this thing's crazy. And for me, this would replace this if it had it. For me, the only features I'd want to add, those sub mixes that's been mentioned here would be so cool. So obviously you can adjust. So obviously you want to hear things slightly different to what chat hits, right? So obviously you're the one playing the game. They've added routing table, which was needed. For me, if they could add autotune as an effect, that would be huge. Like a decent autotune software built in or a software update into the mixer, that would be so big. Something like what Go XLR's done, but maybe even a bit more like better of an autotune piece of software, a bit more studio quality would be nice. Because everything about this mix is studio quality. That's why it's so goddamn expensive. And the Go XLR is still a really good piece of kit, though. It's just obviously it's no updates now. It does have less features. Obviously, it's very old by today's standards.
Of these, and this thing is already notorious for being massive.
Yeah, it's still Go XLR is still
even
big.
bigger. So there are going to be a lot of people that realize I don't have space for this on my desk. I'll find space for it. I will, and if you want it, you should too. But like,
bro, I want it so badly. Chat, let me know down below. What do you guys think of this? Do we have any tech savvy people that have got it? Let me know how you've used it, bro. I really want it. I might have to start a GoFundMe page. No, I'm joking. I wouldn't do that, but it is something I might look to get in the future, especially if they add the things I want. Because I might sell both my Go XLR and my Allen Half ZFX. Make other mix. Got 2 mixes combined, right? So yeah, I mean that's a really cool piece of kit, and this is an absolutely great review. I love Senpai Gaming is the channel that I watch for a lot of my tech stuff. And they also do a lot of reviews on like microphones. They do a lot of reviews on like, cameras and everything like that. So it's kind of cool. They obviously do he often does like videos, keeping up to date on what's going on with YouTube and Twitch and things you need to know about that. New microphone releases, so many different videos, so many different it's just really informational, and he's very informative, and he, great videos across the board. Let me know what you guys think down of me reacting to the review. Did you like this sort of video? Would you want me to do more? Let me know down below. And guys, make sure you leave a like, subscribe if you're new. We're so close to 2,000 subscribers. And go show some love to Senpai Gaming. I've subscribed, obviously. I will send a link down in the chat so you guys can go watch that video. And I'll see all of it for people in the next reaction video. Peace.
So outside my misery, I think I'll find a way up.